Good morning, friends. This is Bob Evans again, your candidate for District 3 Butte County Supervisor. And this is week 2 of our once a week broadcast on me and on subjects of interest, hopefully to you and other residents. One of the questions, the question I'm most often asked is, why am I running for Butte County Supervisor? It's all about the money, of course. We get paid so much money, and it's an easy ticket. Well, I guarantee you, if it was all about the money, I wouldn't be running, because it is a lot of work. Campaigning is a lot of work. It's a great adventure. You get to meet good people, but it's a lot of work, long hours. And so is serving on a government board like City Council, which I did, or Butte County Supervisor. So the reason I'm running is it comes down to my past experience. As I said, I was in the Air Force. I've lived in wonderful and different places. But when we came to Butte County, I haven't found a better place to live. And not being a local, I had the advantage of comparing different places to live. In the South, in Texas, in Florida, in Ohio, here in California. And once I get to Butte County, that became my home, where I raised my family, and there's so many advantages to live here. But there's threats. It seems like many of those threats come right out of our state government in Sacramento, and many of those we can't control. But there are some things that we can do even at that level. I'm running because I have the experience, because I'm retired, I still have a lot to offer, and because I'm retired, I have the time to dedicate to this job. I will be a full-time supervisor, and I won't have any outside interest to interfere with my ability to serve you. I have some priorities you probably need to know about, and at the top of that list is safety. Government at any level, job one is doing their best to keep the citizens safe. Federal, state, and local level, that should be number one priority. It is mine. Guarding your tax dollars is also important. Government, where it takes responsibility and has a job to do, then we need to make sure they do that job effectively and efficiently, and don't waste your tax dollars. That is one of the things I will promise to watch. There are many other priorities, obviously protecting our water, economic development, helping the mental health issues that surround many of our veterans and other people. Many priorities, but safety is job one for my candidacy. One of the things that I want you to know is that when I get asked questions, which I often get questions on my Facebook page, they seem to want an answer that is not tied to the county. When I answer those questions, I will give you an answer from something that, as a county supervisor, I can influence or have some kind of control over. And I'll give you a for instance. One of the questions I've already been asked is, what do you think of how we can make our schools safer? And I know that the person who sent that question was asking my opinion of gun control. Well, gun control is not something that I can influence. It is a national issue. It'll come out of DC, it may be amended in the state of California, but it is nothing I can control. What I can tell you as far as school safety is that there are a couple things that we can do at the local level. Note one is that most of the schools, at least down here in Chico and other areas, have put fencing around the campuses, so they've put controls on entry points. That's important. Another thing we can do is, at the local level, as it relates to availability of guns, is to keep guns out of dangerous people. And we have a program, 5150, that allows our local law enforcement agencies to identify those people who are a threat to themselves or a threat to other people. We need to make sure these people can't get their hands on guns. The latest move by the Chico police, and we hope the county picks up on it, is to include behavioral health employees to go along in certain cases where the person that they are confronting is challenged mentally, and that behavioral health person will help in that process, get those people what they need to have. One other thing that a county supervisor can do is we can support James Gallagher, our local representative in Sacramento, who's proposed a bill that would have the state pay for resource officers on every campus. I think that would go a long way to make our high school and other campuses safer from deranged people who wish to do harm. So that is just an example, one example of how to turn a question that some people would like to know my opinion nationally into something that I think that we can contribute and we can control, or we can at least influence as a supervisor on the Butte County Board of Supervisors. So as we go forward and we get into issues, I hope to keep most of them local and of interest to you and the general public. And this is session 2. I hope to see you in a week.